Do you know that you have a guardian angel? He has a name and a mission. God has sent him into your life. You recall when Simon Peter in the New Testament was put in prison, that while the church was praying, an angel of God led him out of prison, and he returned to where the church was at prayer. And when he knocked on the door, they were so glad to see him that they just could not believe that it was he. And the young lady who went out to open the door rushed back in and said, "It's his angel." So strong was the belief among the early Christians in angels, and that every child of God has a personal guardian angel, that she thought that he, Peter, was his own angel. Now, let's look into the Bible again, and what do we see? We see the strange inner workings of a woman or man's prayer life. We see the even fantastic ways that God employs to help his people receive answers to their prayers. Prayer is no easy thing to accomplish, especially if that prayer is effective in behalf of someone else or ourselves. And we are told in the book of Daniel about this man himself, who was greatly beloved of God, a man whose prayers were regularly heard of God, and how that once he fell upon his face in such earnestness of prayer that he was sure that God would dispatch the answer quickly. But for some unexplained reason, the prayer was not answered that day, nor the next day, nor even the next week. 21 days elapsed without the answer coming to this man. Now, a man like Daniel, as I say, was accustomed to having his prayers reach the throne of God. He knew how to pray. He felt his prayers. He put his whole earnestness in his prayers. But on the 21st day, the answer still had not come. And this is what God did. God sent a mighty archangel by the name of Michael. And God said to Michael, "The devil, Lucifer, has intercepted the answer to Daniel's prayer. He is holding it. Michael, you go. You get the answer out of the devil's hands. You take it to my servant Daniel. You tell him that he's greatly beloved up here. Tell him that we love him and that I heard his prayer the first day he prayed it, but that the prayer was hindered, and now I have put an archangel on the case." And I tell you what I think might have happened. When Michael received the commission to deliver the answer to Daniel down there still upon his face in Babylon, he had to go through enemy territory. But the Bible teaches us that the devil is the prince of the powers of the air. He is the god of this world. When a child of God prays, his prayer has to enter enemy territory. It has to penetrate the devil's headquarters, for he is the prince of the powers of the air. And so does God's answer have to penetrate the devil's territory and come through enemy land. And when Michael was put on the case, he sped through the air faster than the speed of sound or light. He came into Lucifer's headquarters. He opened the door and flung it aside. He walked in, knocking demon angels right and left. And he came on into the inner sanctum of the devil himself. He put out his hand and said, "Give me the answer to Daniel's prayer." Lucifer replied that he would not do it, and Michael could not force him to do it. Michael simply reached over, and if you'll pardon my language, Michael reached over and took the devil's hat, pulled it down over his eyes, pulled the answer out of his hand, kicked the devil into a corner, and kept on going toward Babylon. And when he arrived, he picked Daniel up and said, "Oh, greatly beloved of God, God heard your prayer the first day you prayed it. Here is the answer." Oh, how God loves his people. There may be someone here who has prayed so faithfully, so desperately, and yet without an answer that you wonder what in the world is going on. Without a shadow of a doubt, the devil is hindering that prayer. He has attempted to beat the prayer back in your face. Did you ever try to pray when it seemed your words came hard? When you could scarcely say any words at all? When it appeared you would choke to death upon your own words? How hard it is to pray sometimes. Other times the words come pouring out and it seems so easy, while on other occasions it seems impossible to get an answer through to God. And if you're like that, if you will hold on, if you will pray through, if you will stay on the job, if you will refuse to take no for an answer, if you will repudiate discouragement and disillusionment, if you will keep your mind on God, God will answer that prayer if he has to put Michael or Gabriel on the case. And Michael or Gabriel may have to manhandle the devil. He may have to kick a couple of 1,000 of demons out of his way. But God's angel will arrive. Hold on. Help is coming now. Glory to his name. I see some of you leaning over against me, toward me right now. Well, that's right. God is here. God's angels are in this place. They're not coming to this tent. They're already in this tent. God's angels are walking these grounds. They've made this, the side of this tent cathedral, a parade ground. They're marching out there right now. They're going up and down these aisles. Some of them have answers in their hands that we have been desperately praying for. Don't you for one moment get your mind off God. This is God's night to set you free. God's hour to save you, to heal you, to answer that prayer. This is your hour to be delivered. Glory to his name. We are very near this great unseen spiritual realm, the realm where all things are possible. In other words, if Christ in the flesh walked down the aisle, up on this ramp, nearly everyone in this audience would jump up and say, "Oh, he's going to heal me." You wouldn't have any doubt, because you could see, you see. He would be in front of you, you understand. Your mind would immediately accept that fact. Well, he's trying to teach us that he is here, that he is walking up these aisles, that he is on this platform, that if we can see, if we can somehow bridge the chasm in our spiritual vision, if we can see like he wants us to see, angels are near us, Christ himself is beside us, he is in this place right now. And it's important that a woman and a man have Christ, that you have salvation, that you live a dedicated life. It is not enough just to be religious. You must be dedicated. Your life must belong to God, and God must belong to you.